Reporting live from the year 2026, where the American dream of owning a home is a fantasy, where unemployment is rising, but so is the stock market, where the price of everything is skyrocketing, except your paycheck, and when a fast food burger without fries and a drink will run you $10. Let's take a look at how the cost of living is affecting real people, and then we'll talk.
So I just seen a report, guys, that said about only 25% of people, non-homeowners, believe that they will be able to buy a home in the next 5 years. And if you really stop and think about how insane that actually is for a second, that means most people who do not own homes right now, they believe that they will never have a shot at owning a home, realistically. And honestly, I think we don't talk about it enough about how depressing that is for the working class Americans. Because this is not just people being lazy or bad with money like older generations love to say. The reality is that housing prices exploded, interest rates went up, rent became extremely expensive, groceries are expensive, insurance is expensive, healthcare is expensive, childcare is expensive, and wages have not kept up with the cost of living the way people pretend it has. A lot of people are just barely staying afloat month to month, let alone saving tens of thousands of dollars for a down payment. And yes, before somebody says it, I understand our parents struggled too. Life was not magically easier for everybody back then. But we should also stop pretending that the math is remotely even the same. A lot of older Americans were buying homes when average prices were, compared to income, were dramatically lower than they are now. College was cheaper, rent was cheaper, healthcare was cheaper, and one decent full-time income could literally support an entire household in ways that feel almost impossible for the younger generation today. And honestly, according to experts, this has started to create a psychological shift in America that people are underestimating. Because generations before us they were raised believing that if you worked hard enough, you could eventually build stability. Buy a house, build a family, have a retirement someday. But now we have millions of younger people working all the time, feeling like they're permanently stuck in survival mode, no matter how hard they push themselves. And that's a problem. And that's why a lot of the working class people are angry right now. Not because we all expect, luxury like yachts or mansions and the nicest cars. No, we just want to be able to pay our bills in full and then maybe have some extra to go to Dave & Buster's with our kids without worrying about where that extra money's coming from. We just want a realistic shot at stability without feeling like every year we're falling further and further behind while also being told that the economy is supposedly doing amazing. Because when us regular people stop believing that we can ever realistically build a stable future, that changes a country in ways that politicians should absolutely not ignore.
I just paid $102.30 for gas. Over $100 for gas. This is actually insane. I also live in a state where public transportation basically doesn't exist. Like, you literally have to own a car and pay for gas to get to and from work, take your kids to and from school, go to the doctor, or do literally anything in your entire life that you want to do. And guess what? When gas prices are going up, the cost of everything else is going up. We live in a country that is heavily reliant on the trucking industry, and these companies that deliver your food, deliver your clothing, deliver your medications, deliver your freaking Amazon packages, they're not going to eat the cost when they are spending more and more money on fuel, just like they didn't give you back the tariffs that they charged you for. Let's be real for a second. The average American does not give a shit about the stock market. It is completely irrelevant in their life right now. The economy that people care about and need to pay attention to is the price of gasoline. Because there are Americans standing at the gas pump right now wondering what bills to push back just so that they can drive the rest of the way home.
I literally don't understand how families are supposed to keep up with the grocery prices anymore. I just don't. The cart isn't even full, and somehow I'm already over budget, like every time I go to the grocery store. And don't even think about trying to buy healthier stuff. You literally and practically need a payment plan to have like strawberries and chicken. I mean, is everyone like internally panicking at checkout, or is it just me?
Seeing videos of car salesmen complaining about why they can't sell cars. Why are people buying these cars? The reason why you can't sell cars is because you're selling overpriced spaceships. The American people are broke. We don't have any money. Everybody's broke, okay? Nobody can afford an $800 a month car payment. People can't afford that, or $1,200. Nobody can afford that, okay? That's a mortgage payment. You have cars that'll barely last a year. If you can get 75 or 100,000 miles out of them without them breaking down, you're doing good. And you're going to pay a mortgage payment for that? A car that used to be $28,000 out the door, tax, tag, and title is now $70,000. There are no affordable cars. Used car lots, A used Toyota pickup with 150,000 miles is 15 grand. Some of them are 30. Car prices are so high, it's laughable.
Riddle me this. We pay almost $2,000 a month for a family of 5 for health insurance. My daughter just broke her leg and had an ER visit of almost $3,000 after what insurance paid. So we pay almost $2,000 a month for what? Because what average American has an extra $3,000 laying around to pay for a random ER visit? I get it. Accidents happen. ER visits are expensive, but why are we one of the few countries who has an insurance system like this?
But like, you actually never own anything, because today I had to pay my land taxes and it sucks. Literally, it's just, here's all my money. It doesn't matter if you have a paid for house and your land's paid for, you still owe money. Like, you never own anything. It's baffling to me. It's like, okay, I own my house, I own the land that I live on. But you mean to tell me that if I don't pay these land taxes, you can take all that from me? Like, this all is a scam. This whole thing is a scam.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no debt outside of a car. And please don't hit me with the, you can go buy a car for, shut up, you can't, shut up, stop saying ridiculous things. An entry-level decent car is $30,000. So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance and they pay 5% into their 401k, because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later. So after those two things come out of their paycheck and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one-bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry-level, very reasonable sedan, nothing fancy. That car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, $240 or so a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. Food. You only cook at home. You never, ever go out. You only cook at home and you only eat decent quality food, because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food. You pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your phone, $80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make 75 grand a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a movie. You do nothing. You have $3,700 left over annually. That's not a doctor bill, because God knows, just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still pay far out the ass when we go to the doctors. People like to be entertained. They want to date. They want to. There's those of you out there that will tell somebody living like this on $75,000 a year before taxes that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that they should get a second job, that they should get a side hustle, that they should get a better job. And the fact that you would look at somebody with no debt other than a car and say something like this to them means objectively you're a moron and you live in a fantasy world. This is unsustainable.
Morale is at an all-time low for millions of people. And don't get me wrong, not everybody is struggling. But even the people that are making good income, even they are feeling these increases. It's not just gas prices. It's not just grocery prices. It's not just your utilities going up. It's not that houses cost so much more. It's everything. And when all that hits at once, even the people that are making six figures are feeling it. And what about the people with families that are making $30,000, $35,000 a year? How are they getting by? And can we all agree that debt is bad? Debt bad. Everybody knows that you don't want to be in debt, but most people's dream is to just go into a lifetime of debt by purchasing a home. Look at this. So take your average home price of $450,000 at a 7% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage. Look at this. You're going to end up paying around $3,000 a month. Crazy. You know what's even crazier? you're going to end up paying over $1 million, $1,077,000 for a $450,000 home. That's more than your total loan in interest. That's 600 grand in interest. You are basically buying yourself a $500,000 home, the bank a free $500,000 home, and here's an extra 100 grand for the banker just because, hey, thanks for putting me in a lifetime of debt. And the crazy thing is, it's never yours. You will always owe on it. If you don't pay property taxes for 2 years, you'll see how much of that house you own. It just seems like the system is set up for people to fail and just be in a crap load of debt. People are already working full-time jobs and a part-time job, multiple part-time jobs. Should we petition to prolong the day to 34 hours instead of 24? That way we can work more? It's just crazy, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below, but this isn't looking good. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.